getting to know each other. One thing leads to another, and they start having sex, and she starts
having sex because he noticed that the husband used to beat her.
Yes.
And so from being a shoulder to lean on, he became an organ she could ride on.
Oh wow, nice.
Hello and welcome to this podcast. It's Double-Sided. I'm Winifred, and today I'm joined with Winner.
Hi.
And we're going to be discussing a book that we just read and we want to share with you. So the name of this book is
Bridges Are for Burning by Bina Idonije.
Okay, so the book centers on a lady called Gigi Dempster and two main characters. So Gigi's best friend Alana and Gigi's sister Fifi. So we're going to discuss the storyline so that you can follow along and understand just exactly how everything played out. So I'm going to start by explaining Gigi Dempster. So Gigi, her name, I don't know how to pronounce her name, is Ogene Ogohogo. Okay.
I'm not sure that I just Ogohogo, I think.
Okay, so Gigi Dempster is her name. Dempster isn't actually her original surname, but her father took on the name when he was working with white people and they couldn't pronounce his name properly. Although that also it also begs the question of, should we be changing her name just to fit with the Western audience? We'll get into that later. So anyway, Gigi Dempster is a 29 to 30-year-old lady who runs a social media agency where she helps companies
grow their social media accounts,
social media campaigns, and every single thing. She's dark, she's 5'2", she's busty, and she's insecure because she always feels like she's living in someone else's shadow. Okay, so Gigi is single as at the beginning of the story. But okay, she's single at the beginning of the story. Her previous boyfriend was Osage. Okay, who she feels like she was second best because he initially wanted to date her friend, but then settled for her. Okay, so they were together for like 4 to 5 years, then they broke up. Is it more than 45 years?
It was like 10 years.
No, it was not 10. It was not 10. So they break up and she's single. And then her friend is like, oh, you know what? Let's go out and let's just try and meet other guys and everything. So they make a date for February 13th. But sadly, when February 13th rolls around, her friend is sick because her friend is pregnant and having like an extreme case of morning sickness. So the friend is like, you know what? Why don't you just go alone so I don't take the spotlight off you so you can enjoy yourself. So she goes there and she meets her friend's husband. And they get drunk, tipsy. He claims that he has always liked her, he has always loved the way she smiles, the way she talks, and everything. They share a kiss, a forbidden kiss. And then, why is your face like that? They share a forbidden kiss, and then, they say, oh no, we can't do this, and they go a separate way for the night. So after that, Gigi travels out to help her namesake, who just gave birth to a baby, and she's helping her with the baby, and then later on she comes back. So when she comes back, during that period, she hasn't really had new clients. Not that it has affected her business that much. But then her friend wants to introduce her to this arts gallery and art curator sibling duo. So apparently the friend used to see them on her way to work, and she feels like they could do with a better social media presence. So the friend introduces Gigi to this art curator, whatever, called Mudi. And then Mudi is feeling Gigi's like, oh, she's cute, she's fine. But she's like, oh, no, I don't want all that. But eventually, they start dating. Yeah, I think they start dating, but before they start dating, she's still giving him like the cold shoulder. She's still putting her walls up, but he starts breaking them gradually, and then she falls in love with him. And then one night, he has this not night, but a period of time, like he has this event in Kenya, and this Kenya.
Where's Mombasa?
I don't know. They have this event though, and they travel there, and then she meets her ex, the same Osage that we spoke about, and then. The book says that Osage is really, really huge. I don't know why they had to tell us that, but it's really, really huge and fat and heavy. It has big stomach. Oh, anyway, she meets Osage and she introduces Mudi as her friend. Now, bear in mind that although they were seeing each other, they haven't actually labeled their relationship, but she already knew what he wanted. Like, he has been clear about what he wants from her. Like, oh, I want to date you, I want to be with you. So then she says, oh, this is my ex and this is my friend. And then he's a bit pissed because he's like,
why would you introduce me? Because she didn't introduce them.
Like, why she didn't introduce them, but just kind of kept them separate. And then that gets the play out. She's like, I didn't want to introduce my past to my future. This is my future.
What are you talking about?
Then the guy like, oh, say that again.
Oh my god.
She's like, I didn't want to introduce my past to my, because I feel like that guy is a player, because she thought about it. She's like, how am I going to coin this thing the way that I come out on top? She's like, I didn't want to introduce my past to my future. And they start kissing, and they kiss, and let's just say they start dating, sha. So that's where I'll stop. with Gigi. So let's talk about her friend in question, who is Alana.
Okay. We get introduced to Alana. Her full name is Alana Vanderberg, and at the beginning of the book,
I'm sorry, that sounds like this person from Gossip Girl.
yes, Vanderwood.
I don't know. It just hits me like, can't continue.
So we get introduced to Alana. She's a Dutch Nigerian. I know her parents are kind of rich and well off, and she has known Gigi for since they were in secondary school. She's described in the book as very stunning, very gorgeous. She's tall. She has green eyes. She has this curly. It's not really. It's curly. It's a curly hair, but not curly in the way you see like
not
regular.
frosty, not African hair, like a mixture.
Exactly. So she's very. What we really know about her is that she's very very gorgeous, and she is dating Benjamin Halal, who is a Lebanese Nigerian. He's also really gorgeous. He's tall. I think like 6 feet or so, and they've been dating. How she actually met Benjamin was that she stole him from another very lovely lady,
Layla.
Yes, Leila, who was I think Miss Nigeria or so,
Yes,
and
yes.
apparently she's also very gorgeous. But Alana was too gorgeous that she was able to steal him, because when she saw him, she set her eyes on him and she knew that this is who she's going to end up with. So at the beginning, when she's supposed to meet with Gigi on February 13th, as Winifred has already explained, she finds out that she's pregnant and she has severe morning sickness. She cannot go out. She just has to be at home, but she tells her that she should go on. So once Gigi comes back from the US, and by that time we are told that Alana has given birth to her son. I think his name is Emiko. He's also a very lovely boy, and at that time she was releasing new outfits for her fashion brand, because she's a fashion designer. I think the name of it is just like the abbreviation of her name, Alana Van AVDB. Yes, and I think after she gets married to Halal, she intends to add H at the end, but her workers were like, cut it out, wrap it up, we need to move on with the area. So when Gigi comes back at that particular point, Alana is holding a fashion show. She's trying to show her new clothes. She invited a bunch of people. Apparently, she also invited Burna Boy to the event. So while she's there,
And she invited Mudi, because that's actually how she
what they call it,
Gigi and
Mudi together. So she was like, they're perfect for each other. Or no, they're perfect for each other, as in Gigi can handle Moody's business, and also she also feels like since her friend is single, maybe there's also something there in it. So I don't want to say we don't really know much about her, but whatever it is we're told is through the lenses of Gigi. We're told she's stunning because Gigi says so. We're told she's very rich. Her parents are well off to do that. Anytime she would go, only time their family would go on vacation, they would take Gigi along because they're that well off. And then we're also from this her perspective, we see her as, well, we won't say she's insecure at any particular point, but she sees herself as, I won't say better than everybody else, because of
the way she holds herself to a perfect standard.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that's also one thing that's pointed out to her, that she's very perfect. Anytime she's always holding a party to show people how perfect her life is. Anytime if it's her son's 1 year old birthday, she will invite everybody. Despite that her son cannot celebrate, or she invite everybody, deck the halls, make sure everything is perfect, just so people can see how perfect and lovely her life is. That was one thing that was very so towards in her, for Alana, she gets this sense of womanly instinct that her husband is cheating on her, that he has been hiding his phone, sneaking around. Anytime he wants to shower, you take his phone inside with him. And she has been feeling in her heart that he's cheating on her. So on the anniversary, when he fails to show up, or rather when he fails to remember the plans that the dinner plans that they have, because she invited like a very well-known chef to cook for them, he fails to show up. And when he finally shows up, he's like, not really, his heart is not really in it. So she finally asks him that, I know you're cheating on me. Who are you cheating on him? And then the dude now lies. I'm not cheating on you. I've never cheated on you. Why would I cheat on you? And she believes him because she loves him very much. And she doesn't that. I feel like even if she had figured out that he's actually, even if he had accepted that he was cheating, she wouldn't have left him, because she just feels like he completes the perfect image of Alana Vanderberg. Without him, he's not her. The image of her is not really complete. At least at that time, that's what she thinks. So it carries on. She holds, and then she holds another party again. I've forgotten what the party. The girl holds a lot of parties, but she holds another party towards the end. And then towards the end, one other thing she does is that when she's very sure, she's like, despite the fact that her husband told her that, okay, I'm not cheating on you, she still has that feeling, because he would be on the phone, and anytime she passes by, he would off the phone, and like he's not really paying attention. He would be looking at their child, like he would like the attention the attention be paying to their child is something that she found very unsettling. So she devises a plan on how she's going to catch the person who was sleeping with her husband. Should I go forward? I can finish. Okay, so while he's showering, she steals his phone. She now starts reading the text he has with the number, which is an unknown number. She's reading the text. The text is talking about how they have to pay somebody that's blackmailing them, and her husband Benji is willing to pay the amount. He has stuck down the amount from 250k to 100k, and he's ready to pay that. The unknown number should not tell Alana anything about anything that's happening. So while she's snapping she's in her phone to snap the message on her husband's phone. She now texts the message because he was about to come out from the shop. She has to find out who the person is. So she texts the person, okay, let us meet at so and so place today. Once that is done, she now gets ready. She goes to the place to figure out the person. She's there, she's waiting for the person. She's like, who's this person that can cheat on her with? Her best friend, Gigi, walks in. She sees Gigi. In her mind, it doesn't register to her because the place is early, it's not really early morning, but it's like
and it's not a restaurant, anybody can walk in.
But it's also at that particular time when nobody's really in there because I won't say they're just open, but they're just settling down for the day to start their business. So when her best friend walks in, she's like, trying to explain to her that she's here to meet the lady that is cheating on her, that's cheating. Are we cheating with her husband? Or I don't know, the person that's with her husband that her husband is cheating on her with. So she's here to meet the person, she's ready to confront the person. So Gigi is trying to explain to her that I'm the lady.
I'm the one you're looking for.
He's like, Gigi, Gigi, now is not the time. I don't know what to do. Gigi's like, I'm the one. Like, what? Can we wait for another time? Gigi's like, I'm the one who is sleeping with your husband. She's like, what? What do you mean? You're sleeping with my husband? Anyway, they blow up, they fight. A lot of words are exchanged about how could Gigi be the one that she's not even that hot and all that. And Gigi is
barren.
Like, yes, that was very crazy. Why would you use that word? And Gigi is like, you know what? I did it because I wanted to prove that whether I can break your perfect.
No, Gigi didn't say that though. I feel like adding that one.
Sorry.
But Gigi also like
she says that the reason why she's like, why did you feel the need to do that? She was like, I just wanted to prove that it is something like an attain or something that she put it in a particular way. Check towards the back. She asks her the question, why did you feel you can do that? So once that is once they fight, Alana is like, never speak to me ever again. We can never be friends. Then we also find out that Alana
she said, Alana, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I wanted your life at some point. Maybe I did what I did to hurt you somehow for all the boys that simply couldn't see me because you overshadowed me most of my life. Do you know the countless times you made me feel like I wasn't beautiful enough? Yes, it's true. She used to actually hate on me. Like, oh, your boobs don't fit you. Your boobs should be better for me.
Yeah, or that time they went to go and massage, and she was like, Gigi was very uncomfortable with massaging. Was carrying the massage because she felt like she would always like point out things about her body,
insecurities about her body. Yeah,
she did not want to be aware of. So
okay.
So 1 year later, the fast forward 1 year later.
We have to stop at the 1 year.
Okay, sorry.
We've not discussed Fifi.
Yes. 1 year later.
1 year later towards the ending. So let's discuss the third character.
Fifi. Her name is Efemina, and she's married to this man who is described as, let's just say he's not that good looking. At least that is what
he has. Big stomach.
Yes.
He's 14 years older than her. He plucked her when she was young.
Yeah, he took her because she was young, because he knows that he has to take her before someone else will grab her. That is how he
hello. When we say market square, you do.
That's how they described it. So So Fifi is once we get to know that she has 3 children, they are triplets. She gave birth, I think, rather Riley and one other last name.
Let's not do that. Let's just call them the 3 hours.
3 hours. So she has it, and they school abroad because her husband is very well off. His family is very rich, and that is also one reason why she technically got married to him, because he's very well to do, and she wanted like her life to be comfortable. Or at least when she got married, that's what she wanted her life to be. So at least when she got married, that's what she wanted her life to be. So she doesn't really work. She's more of a stay-at-home. Yes, she's not a stay-at-home wife. She has a social media account which she had to beg her husband to open for her because he did not want her to. Anytime she would tell him that she wants to do something, he'll be like, you can do it at home. So when she wanted to open a social media account that fits with Fifi, he went to go and now consult that his friend Ikenna, that his wife wants to do it. He was not the fine and give him advice and I tell him do this. You want to go back and meet his wife and be like, you know what, my friend said that you should do it this way. So when she wanted to run that house, something, he opened a gym for her in their house. The name of the account is Fit
the House.
Fifi. Is like an annex out close to their house. Like let us just say their house is like a big compound. An annex within that their compound is where he said, because you know when they find out about it, I'm telling you, because I'm telling you,
I know that it was like in the compound. I'm like,
no, we're doing the like, why would you do that? Anybody could walk in, and
you're
sorry. Let us not put the cars before the cat in front of the horse. Anyway, so she runs this social media accounts, Fifi, which I think her sister also helped her
set up and everything.
So that account, instead of her husband is kind of, he doesn't want her to stray too far. I always want her to be within arm's
reach. Wants to clip her wings.
Yeah. So when she started it, anything that concerns the accounts that's supposed to be something that maybe the two of them will make, or a decision that only her will make, he would run to his billionaire. That what we're told, that the guy is a billionaire.
Yeah.
I don't know how rich he is, but he's a billionaire.
Everybody's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire friend, so he run to him. So the Ikena was one that told I think his name is Lotana.
Yes.
Lotana DK or something.
Yes. Exactly.
So yeah. So he told him that, okay, if he really wants to keep his wife happy, he has to do this. It's one that gave him the idea that he should bring somebody else who would also, they would like coordinate Fifi, and the person would coordinate, and then or maybe occasionally the person would be alone, or the two of them would be on the video together to show the exercises and the rest. And she can also sell some merch related to her social media career. So this person now, his name is Ahmed Young. Didi. Also, sorry, that dude. Sorry, his girlfriend was. It's Ahmed Young. He's short. She calls him Eddie, and he's I think he's like 24. I'll be 25. I don't know. I know he's very young. Young as when we get to her, she's like at least 30 something by that time.
She's like 34.
Yes, and he's like 14. Younger than her. Not that young, but still a bit that you can be like, you know what, that's still weird. So, anyways, they start getting to know each other. One thing leads to another, and they start having sex, and she starts having
sex because he noticed that the husband used to beat her.
Yes.
And so from being a shoulder to lean on, he became an organ she could ride on.
Oh wow, nice. But so yeah, so she started having extramarital affair with Eddie Young. Honestly, Eddie,
or like the fitness trainer.
Yeah, the fitness trainer. So she said the thing goes on for a while. They are doing it in the annex every time after, or not every time, but while after they finish filming their video, they will like lock the door or something, and then they will start doing it there. So the Lotana doesn't really have any idea that anything is happening. All we are told is that she doesn't really want to be with him. Like she doesn't want to have sex with him any longer. Anytime he will try to touch her, she will flinch.
I think we should not be using the word sex.
Why this to bite?
I think it's to bite.
Sorry, I know.
Let's just use like affair or like coit. I don't know. Like
okay. I didn't know that's something like this.
I don't know. We'll find out though.
Okay, so anytime he would try to like touch her, she would flinch. She would squeeze her. Anytime you try to hug her, she would try to like avoid
any form of affection.
She finds him repulsive with the way she avoid him. At least that is the way they were told. That's
the way he sees it.
She would like when they wanted to run away. She
like he was actually dressing up, but she's unclad. She
doesn't no idea coming to her to do all this. And then what was it that Lothar, while he has a lovely wife at home, he has also been stepping out on her
with youngie,
smally. His billionaire friend will like bring them to the boys' quarters of his house or something like that, and then he'll be with them because he'll give them money, he'll sleep with them, but they're not related to his marriage. They're not like
at the end of the day, it's just his wife he wants.
Exactly. So
and anytime he sleeps with them, it's like a huge F you to the wife. Like,
you know what? Not true. Another lady out there is ready to touch you.
You give me a huge F you to your wife. But she doesn't even know that she's
like, what are you doing? Get your act together. Anyways, so he doesn't really find out until his driver, Incy, he's taking her on a ride. I think he wants to taking her to the airport to go and pick her children who are coming from what they call it, UK
for their holiday. Also for their
holiday, yes, and they're also there for the anniversary. So while she's in the car, she's making a call with Eddie, and he overhears like the way she's talking with him. It's not the way you normally talk with any random person. It feels like very intimate. How you would actually talk with your husband or significant other or anything. So he now clicked like, you know what, to move up in the world of driving, I should marry. I'm going to go.
When you like that, no. Like, I mean, he wanted to feel.
He says he wants to be his right hand man, and he wants to stay here for a very long time. So he's going to give the husband this information. He goes to tell the husband that he heard Madame talking on the phone one way, and he's just telling that he feels like she might be stepping out. And Lotana obviously is very mad that how would his wife be stepping out? And yes, it does. And why the man doesn't even give you hard proof? Like obviously we know that she's cheating, but how would you just believe any random person? He brings no proof.
I mean,
show you
that. Your wife doesn't want to have sex with you.
She's just like she doesn't like. What is she doesn't like? She just wants to break up, but she's not like cheating on you or anything.
Chill. Think of this other person now, Alana, whose husband did not want to have sex, and she immediately went that she was cheating. Do you understand? It just goes without saying that that's what he would also think. To like, you're not giving me that affection at home. Maybe I get it from
before this girl acted, she had proof.
She did cheat.
Yeah, she had proof.
Before she approached him at dinner. She was just noticing that he was distant and they were not really having sex. Isn't it the same thing
But
with this one?
you see how she approached him. This other one took it very far.
I mean,
And she
that
heard it from a third party. I feel like if she had heard it from a third party, she wouldn't have believed.
should have believed. But anyway,
She wouldn't have
continue.
believed because she feels like that man is her heart and her head.
Heart
But
and
even
head,
when he
go.
just got mad about it and went to go, I don't think he can
He
say
went to go and beat her.
he
And
raped her.
he beat her first.
Yes, then he now raped her. That's
Yeah.
mad, which is weird. Not weird, do this weird on his own. So she does all this thing. She obviously, and that was like, I think the day before their
Sexually assaulted. I think that's the word. Sexually assaulted her.
It's also rape. You can rape your significant other.
I know, but like,
you cannot say the word. Sorry, never mind.
I don't know if you can.
I know that one you cannot say. I used to hear them say grape.
Okay, so he graped her.
So yes,
Why are you laughing?
sorry, because of the way he just suddenly put it out there. I'm sorry. Anyways, he does that the day before their, is it day or even the day of their, he grabs her.
The minute of their wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
she now have to use makeup and tell her she fell down.
Up. Then at the event, she's like, obviously she's putting on a brave face, trying to not make it obvious that she's having problems in her home, because obviously that's something that Nigerians suddenly carry on their head. You're not supposed to let other people know when all those things. And that has been going on for a very, very long time. So if they've been married for like at least 14 years.
It's not for like 12.
Exactly. So she doesn't want anybody to know that her life is less than perfect. Also, one thing I'm forgetting to mention about Fifi is that she bleaches. Yeah, she was dark skinned, and then she felt like being fair is more palatable or more attractive. So she started bleaching as when she got married to her husband. And then even before, sorry, she started bleaching
and wearing contact lenses and dyeing
her hair blonde.
What do you mean dyeing your hair blonde? And the hair is virgin, how can you dye it?
She dyed it blonde, and I know she, even when she wants to do like attachment, she'd also use like a blonde. She wants to show present an image of not really Nigerian. Like she's from there,
she's mixed,
or exactly, she's mixed, or she's at least in the Western one. She's not really fully like how Alana is half Nigerian, half Dutch. She said she's like that. So that's one thing that is very significant about Fifi. So while she's there, she's at the, I'm going back to her anniversary dinner. So everybody is there, they're having a time. So her husband is supposed to give a toast. Instead of him to just give like a simple toast, I love my wife, he's now trying to rub it on.
He gave the toast at the wrong time.
And he
just took mic and started talking.
I started talking there, and I tried to like love up on her after what you did like hours ago. So obviously at that time she's still like, anytime she would like, at least what was it, she would like try to give him a coach, but he would say, I love my wife. And in her head she's thinking, why have you never told me these things before? Why are you waiting until everybody is there, or to when you're intoxicated before you can finally tell me how you feel?
And him is thinking, oh, he wish he had the courage to tell her. I should tell her this every day.
No, that man, you know what? horrible people. Anyways, after that, she's still with him. After the what do you call it, the wedding? Sorry, anniversary dinner. So she's still with him. She's still willing to. Okay, she goes out on a. She goes on a trip.
You're missing something.
I'm missing.
Yes, you're missing the fact that he beat her up, and then Eddie said that they should go away together. That's the.
She now
even before then. You've not also spoken about the fact that he brought somebody else, the one that calls him Gigi.
And so she brings one hot girl who is bald, and she has like
bald.
Yeah, she's bald. She has like no hair. Not that she has like, she's bald, but she has like no hair. Yeah. So she's like, according to what, she has like a figure 8, and she looks very young, and her name is Sasha. So because before then, Eddie already asked what's her name, Fifi, to be with him, and she's like, you know what, you're too young for me. How are you going to support me?
Too young, a little broke.
How are you going to support my So Eddie's like, I'm sure your husband is not going to abandon your child. He's going to still provide for them. She's like, you don't know that man. He might actually spite a little children out before they can, just so he can, or rather, he can leave them out to dry, just so he can spite me. So while he's there, she sees Sasha, and she's so mad about it. She's like, who is this young person? She looks too young to be with him.
But she's actually the one that told him to bring somebody now, so it doesn't look obvious that they're together.
Yeah. So she's not mad about it. And then what were they? I think she's one rude. There's a question she asked, like, what's your name? How old are you? Or something like that. She asked him one question like that every the Eddie and Sasha like kind of looking at her, that why would you ask that kind of question?
Yeah.
Anyways, the interaction is weird and all that. So after her wedding, and why they keep calling it wedding, her anniversary dinner, and they tell us about how she's scrolling on Instagram, and she sees Eddie and Sasha out on a trip, and then he's smoking. She has a problem with smoking because she made him stop smoking before, and she cannot believe that he's smoking again.
It's not good for the brand.
Yeah, that has he been lying to her about smoking? And it's just very dramatic, because honestly, you're not really with him. Why? I understand that it's not good for, but the way she's carrying it on her head is kind of not in the way you'd see it pertaining to the brand. More like, oh, this person is supposed to be my person, and anything I tell him to do, he should take it as word or whatever. Anyways, Eddie and her, they speak, and then he's like, let's go on a trip. And she's like, yes, let's go on a trip. I've never done something like this before. Let's go out and be together like we normal. It's very weird. They go on a trip, they have fun, they are able to hold hands and kiss outside, despite the fact that she's already married. But she's just trying to like leave that one last because she knows she can never leave her husband to be with Eddie. I think that's
But then Lotana also confides when Lotana speaks with the driver, and the driver says, well, I think your wife is stepping out on you. He confides in his billionaire friend Ikenna. And Ikenna knows that Lotana adores him, like is loyal to the point of adoration. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to settle this thing for you. So he hires up street boys to go and beat up Eddie. And they beat him up and like, no, they touch another person property. So like now, and also Lotana did not know this was going to happen because all Ikenna said was, I'm going to handle this thing for you and you're not going to have this issue anymore. So he did not know the extent to which Ikenna would go. And the warning was also kind of vague that Eddie himself did not know, as in, he did not have an idea, but like, you don't just beat me on the one time, don't touch someone.
The persons involved, you not really even know. They say pass this information ahead. And also when Lotana found out that it was actually real, because he was trying to, how he found out was that he was trying to call his wife, and then as he was calling her, he heard his, I think, a maid in their compound talking to another person, I think a gateman or something. So they were like, nothing if you tell me where the way Madame and Eddie know they used to like have relations in their annex. He now heard it. His heart was now beating. He was
now going to put cameras everywhere. Like he wants to put cameras for security, and he could see that was the confirmation.
Yes,
in her eyes.
Why are you putting it? I'm putting it for security, and he's like, is there a reason why you don't want me to? Again, I'm paraphrasing. Is there a reason why you don't want me? And she's like, she keeps her mouth shut, and she's like scared, and she stops breathing for a while. But he has in his mind, he's like, she's actually cheating. And then, according to him, he held himself back. He did not beat that up as he would normally. As he would normally. He's just going to find a way to settle this. He's going to hold his anger. I think that's what Ken also told him, that that if he does that, he will just chase her into the arms of the person she's having the affair with.
So he tells her that they're going to work on their marriage.
And he loves that,
and that he loves her and everything. So 1 year later, this is what ends up with the main character. It turns out that the February 13th, where Gigi meets up with Alana's boyfriend at that time, where they actually share like a forbidden kiss and everything. They actually went beyond that. Yes. They did more than just kiss. And at that moment when they were both intoxicated, he kept talking about how he's not sure he's ready for children. And let me just take a brief pause to explain that he didn't want kids. He used to use he didn't want kids. I think he used to use a condom. But then Alana started having relations with him, and then she told him that she was on the pill and that they didn't need to use protection anymore. He believed her, and they continued having their relations, and she stopped taking the pill intentionally so that she could get pregnant for him. And the moment she got pregnant, he was like, not the moment though, but then he was like, well, you can't be pregnant and have my child and we're not married. So he got married to her.
Actually, she said that she cannot be a baby mama to him.
Okay.
Yeah, then he now
so that's just a bit of context. So during the February 14th, when he meets Gigi, she's already like 5 weeks pregnant and she's having the intense morning sickness. And then he's talking to Gigi, he's confiding in Gigi that he has never seen himself as a father. He doesn't want to be a father, and that this whole journey is a bit scary to him. And then Gigi's like, you should be having this conversation with Alana. So at first, they talk about it, and then he talks about how he's always loved her smile, he's always loved her, how she talks, everything about her. And then she's a bit surprised. So they do more than kiss. They actually have relations together, and she ends up pregnant. Now this comes with a shock, because when she was dating her previous boyfriend Osage, she was pregnant with him, but they had to take care of it because she was not ready to be a mother yet. And that ended up destroying her womb in the process, so that she was left with just one fallopian tube, reducing her chances of actually becoming a mother. I mean, the chances were still there, they were just reduced. But she tried severally afterwards, and yet she still couldn't take it. So she was a bit shocked. That's why she didn't bother using protection, because she just felt like, but that's weird, because you don't even know what the man has been up to. Yes. Anyway, she didn't bother using protection, and then it turned out she was pregnant. And so in a way, it was like, oh, I never thought this thing could happen to me, and now it's happening to me, but the situations are a bit bad. So she confides in her auntie, who she calls namesake, and then that one encourages her to actually come over to US and deliver the baby, and she would adopt the baby as her own, which is where we meet Ella. So she tells her friend, Gigi tells Alana that her aunt has given birth and needs her help. Meanwhile, she was actually the one who was pregnant and went over there for that period of time. So she meets Ella there. Now, who is Ella? Ella is Alana's assistant, who Gigi already does not like, because you know how there's these people that want to, that she's a social climber, and she just wants to be in every conversation. She wants to be everywhere. She wants her mouth to be heard. She's obviously trying to be who she's not because she uses bags that she clearly cannot afford on her salary. She lives a lifestyle that is way above her salary. So you could tell that this person is trying so much to fit in, and Gigi doesn't really like it. Gigi herself is not. This isn't a matter of finances because Gigi herself is not rich, but then she doesn't necessarily have to create a fake persona just to fit in. So Ella is in the US in the hospital with her pilot boyfriend because apparently, even though the man is calm, he's like a freak in the sheets, and he chokes her to the point where she passes out. So an ambulance rushes her to the hospital where she sees Gigi holding a baby. Now she doesn't know that the father is Benji. She doesn't know anything. She just sees Gigi holding a child.
baby, yeah.
Gigi begs her not to tell Alana, and she wonders why. In fact, at that moment, she thinks that Gigi actually had a child, like a white person or something like that. So
Because she sees him with her uncle.
yeah. So when she gets back to Nigeria, she, with the little knowledge she has, that she's not even sure of, just for the fact that Gigi said, "Don't tell anybody this," and she knows she already has like ammunition against Gigi. She asks Gigi to wire her 1.5 million naira. She's going to expose the truth. So
What the truth is.
whatever the truth is to her. So Gigi knows that she doesn't know the full story, but still, whatever version she knows is still bad. So Gigi pays the 1.5 million. However, on a particular party, what's the party?
But
Where-
party that Alana was
So
throwing.
when Gigi returns back from the States, Alana's husband now, Benji, still has that flair for her. He still likes her. He still wants to talk to her. He's still messaging her, but she has blocked him on different platforms on her phone number, but he still uses a different number to message her and stuff like that. And he's also shocked by his attraction to her because apparently she's less beautiful and less accomplished than his wife, but yet he still can't seem to pull his eyes away from her. So finally, after a while, and after his anniversary, and his wife accosts him about the whole cheating scandal, and he's like, you know what, I have a queen on my hands. I have someone that people are going to die if. I'm going to work on my marriage. So he tells himself that no more of the Gigi nonsense. So finally, they're at the party that Alana set up. And then he sees Gigi and he's like, "Oh, Gigi, you don't necessarily have to run away from me. Let's just talk. Let's converse." And they start talking about it. And he's like, everything is in the past. Just trying to tell her that he's moving on. That's when Ella enters the office and overhears the conversation and finally puts two and two together and understands that Halal is the father of Gigi's child. So she's like, "You know what? I've hit the mother load." So she asks for 250,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
And she feels like, once I get this money, I'm leaving this country. I'm starting off my life. I don't care about anybody. And then Gigi's like, "This is ridiculous because this is just the beginning of the rest of my life. And you know what? I'm going to tell everybody the truth. And whatever happens, let it happen. I'm not going to be blackmailed." But then Halal is like, "Oh, he has brought down the money to 100K and is willing to pay it." And she's like, "No, I'm just going to tell everybody." So that was the whole conversation that Alana saw on Halal's phone, to which now replied, "Let's meet up at the restaurant," when she now sees Gigi and Gigi explains everything to her. I think that's the end of everything.
Yeah.
So like 1 year later, Gigi, so
Forgotten the Mudi part,
so she also tells Mudi the truth, and then Mudi is like, that sucks. So Moodi's like, "I can't be with you," and they break up, and she cries and they cry and everything. They break up, but then even after everything has like ended, he tries reaching out to her. She ignores the message because she just feels like there's nothing in their future anymore. So one day, an AFCC officer approaches her and like, "You need to come for questioning." She comes for the questioning, and then she's like, the officer is like, "I'm so sorry to do this. I'm so sorry we have to meet like this." And then she sees Moody, and Moody is like, "This is the only way I can literally get you to talk to me. And now replying my calls, my emails, and everything." In fact, she dropped him as a client. Wow, the guy must have money. You're just dropping clients like flies. So he tells her that he's not really bothered about the story. Like he just wants them together. He loves her. He shall kiss her, shall make up. Then moving on to Ella, they say the hell has not feel like a woman scorned. Alana messed up her life. Like Alana fired her. Alana made sure to blacklist her from everywhere. Her pilot boyfriend dropped her. All the rich men she was sleeping with, they also
dropped her because they took him to jail.
They took the guy to
Yes,
jail.
it was her account. She wanted them to send the money to.
Oh.
When Alana reports her,
Yeah.
the police now comes to like, takes him away, knowing that he wasn't really, he didn't know about anything. So once they took him to jail, he kind of breaks up with her and her life kind of. And so, and the reason why it ends is because when she was sleeping with other guys and she started seeing the pilot guy, she kind of dropped other guys to be with the pilot guy. So when the pilot guy breaks up with her, she doesn't have any other sugar daddy to lean on, so to speak. So she's back to square zero. She doesn't have 100K up to her name. She's broke. She's desolate, and good for her though. So for Alana, 1 year later, I think on her son's birthday. So usually she would throw a big party for her son, but this time around she decides that she just wants to hold a small gathering, just she, her estranged husband, and her son. So what we're told is that she has separated from Benji, and that
Yeah.
she doesn't really give him time of day any longer. The only reason why they're still even speaking is
It's
because
because
of
of the
their son,
child.
Emiko. So while he's there, they have the birthday party, the small birthday party, they do all the bad things you do at the birthday party. So at towards the end, while when before he's about to leave and he like says his goodbye, he's like, yeah, first of all, they're lying in bed with their son and she's in her heart. She's like, she's still broken about this, that she
Oh,
can't do
come
this,
on,
she
he's
cannot
allowed.
do these things, but he's her halal, he's her avenger. Anyway, so while Benji is about to leave, she's now like, would you like to
You stay the
spend the
night.
night? You know, that's where they end it. While for Fifi, 1 year later, they tell her that she's shopping. I think she's in like France or so. While she's there,
Where's France? I'm sorry.
while she's there, she's with her
Italy.
husband. Apparently, she's very happy with him now. That's what we're told. And while she's shopping in the whatever big store that is, she sees Eddie.
Yeah, with the Sasha.
And Sasha is pregnant. Also in her hand.
And Eddie one big brother Nigeria.
Yes, he won't be pregnant Nigeria. And
Big
the money that
brother
he has, he
Nigeria.
wants to like go around the world. That he has this new rich.
Where did he go around the world?
That's what she said, that he has a new rich, all these nouveau rich people. That's
Yeah.
what he's giving. So she sees them, they're happy, they're kissing. The Sasha looks very gorgeous, and in her heart, it breaks because she realized that
How is it breaking?
honestly, you decided to stay, that this could have been her. So she doesn't really say hello because obviously after everything happened, when Eddie called her after they beat him up, he's like, they should not, she should not let them break them. She's like, who is they? Who is the day that you're trying to stop us? So she doesn't really understand because
And
that
she doesn't want
funny
to
enough,
even after the beating, he still wanted to be with her.
yes, he
you know
called
that
her.
they've done their
Yes,
worst.
don't let them break us up. And she's like, who is the day? Who is the day? And he's like, don't let them break us up. And she doesn't really want to find out because in her mind, she's already said that she's going to try with her married with horrible Lutana.
Try.
So while she sees them, she doesn't say hi, hello. She just goes. And once she goes, she now breaks into tears because that could have been her. And I think
That could be me. Washing your hair.
so that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Fini. Say fini. The end.
Okay, so now let's go into the question.
Okay.
Let me start by what was your whole rate the book on a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10. 1 to 10. 10 is such a big number, though. It was okay. I mean, how am I rating? Am I rating it based on how the emotion is invoked, or
Would you read it again?
no? I would not.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would not. I'm sorry. No, I would not. So I'll rate it like a 7. Yeah, I think a 7 is like fair. It's right there, just not that good, not that bad. I might recommend it to somebody if I just don't like them that much.
Okay, I think I rate it like an 8.
8.
No, let me
It's a big
explain.
number.
I had a lot of thoughts on the book.
But did you enjoy it that much?
I mean, it pissed me off a lot, I guess.
Did you enjoy it?
Let's read it again. No. No, you people are too dramatic. I didn't like the ending for a lot of the characters. I didn't like the fact that Fifi stayed with her husband, and it almost felt like he came on top at the end. There were no repercussions for him.
anything.
I mean, you did cheat on your wife, you
Beat her
assaulted her, you beat her up. So you it wasn't fair for him to just get like a whole happy, loving marriage at the end of it all. Then
for Gigi
had
I
an
don't like how
alternative.
she dragged that dude though. So
I
you
wish-
tell me if
I wish
if she did not tell that he's an EFCC brother to go and take her away, that should have continued.
Yeah, she actually suffered the guy, and the guy really liked her. And I feel like I would have preferred if he ended up with her being pregnant. Her and Mudi. Like them just starting their own little family.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Like maybe they had invited her to AFC and she was like heavily pregnant for Moody's.
That would have been more messed up. Because what do you mean I'm heavily pregnant and I've been away from you? And the child is
No, make up.
I would have been this is insane. I need to run away from.
No, make up. Like I don't know, like them having their own family. That's what I wish.
Okay, I can understand. I wanted to take a daughter. I'm sorry. I wanted to take a daughter back.
But what's it?
I only have to take a daughter back.
Yes.
Like you had the child because you did not feel like you could have the child because of what.
Especially now that you know that. Why would you not give her away like that?
Yes, because I don't know she decided that she wanted to have that child. I feel like there was no reason for you to let your auntie adopt the child again.
Even though the auntie was like, oh, you know what? Everybody would think it's my child. If she goes back and she's like, I want my child, it brings so much drama. But I've already bonded with her. I've already done this with her.
Why did you give her the child? Once you decide, oh, I want to have the child because I know there might not be any other option, you should have just had the child. And you know what? I understand. I understand that.
Even the fact that Alana was pregnant, right?
Mhm.
You were having extreme morning sickness that so people actually get admitted for. And your see, let me tell you something. Now, when your partner is pregnant, you need to step up. The fact that your partner is going through this and you now feel like this was the time to come to club and come and meet people.
On Valentine, the night before Valentine's Day. That's so messed up.
That just I don't know. I don't know, Jare. And I feel like in Western culture, there's this there's this acronym, designated ugly fat friend,
Dove.
the DOF. And it's when beautiful people surround themselves with people who are not so fine, so that they appear much more finer when you see them because they've surrounded themselves with people who are, let's say, a 10 surrounding herself with people who are a 6. So it makes her look finer when you see because the people around her are already looking down. So she's like a bright, shining light.
But I feel like when you say surround her friends, do you think people that she's just friends with, or does she intentionally do? Because some persons are just friends with people that.
Yeah, I know, but like it kind of feels like what's that old lady's name? Gigi was the designated ugly fat friend.
But it wasn't
Because
from these girls doing though. They became friends from secondary school.
Wait, when you
So
really friends if you always pick on your friend's body?
But at the
about
beginning,
how
maybe they were friends because from secondary school, I feel like they were very close. It only started escalating once men ruining everything. Once men started getting into the picture because they would always go after Alana, and she would suddenly realize, oh, maybe I'm not really as good looking as her. It wasn't like something that there was intentional. It was an intentional act from Alana.
I don't know. I feel like there was a power imbalance with them from the beginning
because she was richer.
Because she was richer, because she was fine, and because
but they were friends though.
Were they?
Yeah,
if you see someone's body and
you're saying you're looking at them from the fact where they were already adults. From what we're told from when they're like
we don't have other things we don't have any idea of how their childhood was.
I mean, from all the vacations they've done.
Vacation. Someone specifically they insult your dad with vacation now. You know the guy around vacation again. See me,
I just feel like they were friends, and then the thing only started happening once they started looking at herself less.
I don't know.
Because sure, there was added pressure from men, from Alana, seeing herself as more gorgeous, but she said she couldn't see herself as hot. You don't see people that don't think that themselves are like conventionally attractive.
True, I feel like
herself that way. She always felt like she saw herself as less, so she constantly carried herself as less.
I feel like she had low self-esteem issues.
Yeah,
and it only compounded by the fact that people were going for Alana.
Yes,
and that the fact that I think that was something that I feel like. See, I feel like she should have just. I feel like I don't know how to say this. I've been saying I feel like so many times. I feel like she was living in Alana's shadow because she wanted to live in the shadow. Like you went to the places, you went to all the places where Alana would go to. You met all the people where Alana would like you were also fine. Like it's not everybody that like light skinned people. So
yes, exactly.
But you positioned yourself in a way that it was either Alana
I
or
think she was just happy to be in the shadow. She was not happy. She was not happy, but she was comfortable there.
She wasn't. Let me tell you, she was
because it did not.
She wasn't. See, she wasn't. She just able to complain about something but not do anything about it. She was in the shadow, complaining about it being in the shadow but not doing anything.
She has acquiesced to it now because it did not. It took until her having that child and coming back and realizing she doesn't really like how Alana talks about her body. She finally took a stand like, you know what? I don't actually want to have this massage. I feel like she was always scared of standing up to Alana. That's why I said there was a power imbalance. She was always tiptoeing around loud because she was when you have your own money, when you have your own money and your own what they call it, business. There was the
still flocked to
exactly.
Her.
So it was technically on her, not Alana. Obviously, what Alana would have adjusted once she finally realized that this girl, she's not doing like this. So she said she would have adjusted herself.
I feel like she should have had other friends than Alana.
Yeah,
that shouldn't just put one all your eggs in one basket. Do you understand? And you should have friends of different levels.
There's nothing wrong with having one friend.
I always feel like having one friend is scary. I'm sorry. What if I don't know?
Kill yours.
No, like what if the person suddenly stops talking to you and you beat your
having one friend is not something that you say you advise people to do, but it's not like a bad thing.
I guess so, sure. But me, I feel like you should have one.
Yeah, you should definitely have more friends. You need perspective on different things.
Yes. And I did have a question. Would you be comfortable being second best?
To what?
Like
in life?
Knowing that somebody went for your friend and then they came for you.
No, it cannot be. God forbid.
It's just a bit weird. I'm sorry. I always question it at the back of my mind. Like,
and honestly, why are you dating your friend's ex? I see. Normally, I'm always like,
wait. They were not ex. They never dated. They never dated. He approached her. She said no. They never dated. But I just don't like the fact that he came for you because
you accepted. Yeah.
It reminds me of one gist that happened in my secondary school. This guy liked this girl, and he asked the girl out. She was dating someone else at that time, so she was like, no. And then he's like, okay, no problem. He starts dating someone else. I wouldn't say the other person started dating her friend, but like they're not enemies. They're like
Mm.
they know each other.
Classmates.
They run in the same circles, kind of stuff. So they may not be best of friends, but they were not necessarily
Acquaintances.
maybe acquaintances. They just know each other. They talk. So he starts dating this girl, and everything's going well, except when the girl of his dreams breaks up with her boyfriend. He breaks up with that other girl the same day and asks her out, and she accepts.
That's some messed up shit. Bond the both of them. Just
I mean, technically we're in like 15 and 16, but
that's even the time you have the
I
chance
was
to be
like-
dramatic as hell. Like
I was
everybody's
like-
going to hear my voice. Honestly,
he was messy.
But
It was
that's
messy.
a bit too messy for 15-year-old.
Like,
That's really their future.
15, 16, 17. I don't know our age back then, but like it's in secondary school, and that was what happened.
That's messed up.
So it just made me question.
And you know that person that everything seems so much bigger than they are.
yeah,
That's what
everything is writing.
everybody's fuck, that's messed up.
Okay, now another question I had is, and I noticed this thing because I'm going to share something we missed. The question is, I don't know if this question helps, but to even our
Yes.
viewers, how much of a sexual experience with your partner should you tell your friend? Because according to Gigi says that Alana used to be very, very descriptive about her sex life with Benji. She would tell you maybe the different positions, the styles, how good he was. That sometimes she would go home and reenact those things in her head.
That only happened because this girl was interested in Benji.
You feel like she has been interested in
And
him
obviously, there's
since.
supposed to be a boundary. Yeah, there's some things you should not always share. But like, I feel like somebody describing something is not enough for you to go and carry on your nightly affairs. She was really interested in him, so that was just an excuse and being like, "Oh, Alana is describing so much," and suddenly that's what I want. She's really interested in him. She cannot put it on it. Sometimes she was the problem. You know what?
And okay, now with your friend's partner or boyfriend, what kind of boundaries should exist?
They should just be like.
Some people believe that.
Hello, hi.
For example, there's some married women that believe that you should call their husband sir. There's some married women that believe that their friends shouldn't have anything to do at all with their husbands.
Anything to do at all, as in not even friendly.
No, like let me give an example. Now, let's say I don't like watching horror movies, and
you don't like watching horror movies,
and your friend likes watching horror movies. Okay, there's this story I read online. The lady says she doesn't like watching. I don't know what she said, but actually she doesn't like golfing. Her friend likes golfing. Sometimes her friend and her husband will go golfing together.
Is golfing like slang for something?
No, she doesn't say anything wrong with it. That let them just go and just enjoy themselves. And then there's some people that will frown at it and be like, no, they shouldn't even be in the same room. There should be boundaries. So what boundaries are acceptable and what boundaries are like just
I feel like if she was there while they were golfing, it's not that big of an issue. But being an external something, it feels very me and you. There should not be a me and you. But that's what I feel though.
Yeah.
I feel like if you should just be cordial with your friends and significant other. Oh, hi, oh, hello, oh, how are you doing? Happy birthday, congratulations, and that's it.
Because when Benji meets Gigi at the restaurant, Pills and Potions. Pills and Potions. When he meets at the restaurant, he's like, "Oh my God, you're so fine. Your hands are so soft. Your laugh is so.
She has
dimples. Your laughter is so cute and everything." And I'm like, she just stayed there, like, tell me more. I feel like if my friend's partner starts telling me this thing, it will be giving me the ick.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I should be like a blank board to you.
Yes, exactly.
Don't be. You should not be remembering any of my facial features that much to be telling me this.
You should be looking that deep.
Just want to compliment the presence of your friend. Yes. Everybody hear it. So it was a bit weird because you've never said this in front of Alana, and you just started saying it to me now, and she didn't set that boundary. Like, oh, I think we need to stop having this conversation. There were so many opportunities for her to stop that and walk away, do something, knowing fully well that I feel like she was not honest with herself because she already had like a soft spot for Benji in the sense that he was tall, he was apparently good in bed based on the description she used to get.
Yeah.
He was any woman's dream. Let me just be like that. Now, you should be able to tell yourself, if this thing goes on, I might do something that I would regret or regret. You should be able to put a stop to it, not with somebody who is already having like mixed feelings or mixed emotions about the whole baby thing.
Yeah.
That was just all over the place, and you were just there. So that one is there. Then I was going to say that do drunken confessions count? Like,
I don't know. People usually say alcohol.
You always read
the truth.
You always like anytime I read romance novels, I was like, when he was
No, I
joking,
don't
I
say
said,
people serious. That's why.
leave us alone. I'm like,
I know
I
you
was
have
like,
I've always
your
loved
face, your
you.
face is so. I've
Why
always wanted
don't
to
you
kiss
have the
you.
courage to
To say
say
this
it
thing when you're sober. Like, I would want someone to tell me I like you when I'm sober.
yeah.
Not using liquid courage to tell me that you like me. It
Although
just
some people
feels.
say the alcohol is reveals the truth. So
Maybe that's what they say. Some people can keep doing that rubbish. I beg. Then, what is it? Wealthy people and pretentious names. Ryla, JD.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Like that's why I kind of like Tell Me or $10 because all his children's name are like Tell Me or $10. Tell Me or
I
$10.
think he does it because he's
Yeah.
already a rich man, and
Even
then
Tony Elumelu.
I,
Ogechi Elumelu.
I feel like they don't want any mistake for it to like, not mistake per se, but they want to like carry on that pride of, yeah, I'm actually from an African country, Nigeria, these are their names.
Yeah.
So they want to carry that. I feel like people that use those other pretentious things,
Yeah.
we're not like dragging them or saying like,
Yeah.
but what they call it. But it feels like they're trying to,
Pander to the Western culture.
yes, they're trying to
But-
cover up the fact that
I
I say that someone with only English name, but I'm not, it just feels like that's what it feels like. And it's me, they give it to me since. So my own excuse is different. I think when it comes to resent something, it always feels that way. They always want to hide the fact that somebody is, they want to make it like once you're from that place, they don't want to make it that obvious that you're from that place, which is weird because when they see you, they would know that you're from a completely different
I read
place.
one post that said that in the next 10 years, you go to a primary school and shout, JD! And like 50 children run towards you. But yeah, it also reminds me of like, for example, this lady, I've forgotten her name. Anyway, Jamie Foxx. You know Jamie Foxx, the actor. He changed his name because he felt like he wasn't getting opportunities because Jamie Foxx started out as a comedian. So he changed his name because he felt like he wasn't getting much opportunity.
Even Oscar Isaac too.
To show him. So he wasn't getting, once you put his original name, they'll just cancel him. So he wanted a name that felt ambiguous. You wouldn't know whether it's female or male. So that way he could come up and just show his talent. But on the other side, we have people like Uzo Aduba. Now, if you watch Orange is the New Black, you would know her. She also acted that detective movie.
Yes, Residence or something.
The Residence. Now, when she was younger, her mom was in the kitchen cooking, and she met her mom and she was like, "Mom, can people start calling me Zoe?" And the mom asked why. She said, "Well, whenever the teacher calls me in class, it feels like it's hard for them to pronounce. Zoe feels much more easier." And then the mom said, if they can pronounce all those long names, they can pronounce your name. They will learn to pronounce your name. And she bears Uzo Aduba till this very day. But she's just one of the few people who stuck with their guns. And you could see that left to her should have changed it. It was her mother that instilled a level of self-confidence in her. Like, you know what? They would learn to pronounce your name, no matter how bad it is. We have Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Yeah,
she still goes by her name. So it also begs the question of like, how bad or how good is it to give your child an English name to pander to the Western
even in Nigeria,
culture?
some people can't even pronounce your name. So what's the need of changing it? Like there's some Igbo names that maybe you're schooling like the West, and then they'll find like when I had like that other native name. Yeah, they cannot pronounce names.
Igbo people cannot pronounce maybe Hausa names.
Yeah, so it happens. So would you constantly want to change your name so that maybe other people from other tribes will be able to pronounce your name? Once you just carry on with your life as it is, why does it feel like once it comes to those white people, everybody wants to adjust to their own limits? Or you can't do this. Okay, fine, let us adjust so that you can be able to do this. It's just very weird. So I think it's always on the parent to be like, you know what, this is what I want to instill in my child. This is what I want. This is how I want the world to see them. But
there was something that happened. It's a freelancing platform. I'm not going to mention the name, but apparently people on the platform were saying that, although if we're going to be honest, it was actually Nigerians that ruined the platform. Now, when people migrate out of the country, they have the opportunity or they have access to much more of these freelancing platforms that we don't have access to. So what they do is they open accounts on this freelancing platform and probably get someone here in Nigeria to do the work, while they share a percentage of the cut with them. And apart from that, they're also encouraging people on TikTok. We're also encouraging Nigerians to use VPN to access the site. So apparently, this site started blocking out names that sounded Nigerian. It didn't even matter if you actually had an account and you were in the US or in Canada, you were in a country where you should be able to have access to these things. They're actually blocking out people whose name sounded Nigerian. So now, it begs the question of, if my name sounded English, would they have blocked me?
No, they wouldn't have blocked
me. And then there's also been so many lawsuits in the US where people have been using AI to discriminate between black and white people. Like if your name sounds, when you have a name like I'm trying to think of a name.
Amaka.
No, not Nigerian name, like a black name.
Oh, all those Lashanda.
Lashanda. Like if you have like a typical black name, the AI would flag you and pick a white counterpart, or a name sounding much more foreign over yours. So it begs the question of, I know we're not supposed to change our names to satisfy these people, but
For okay
look at the
opportunities.
certain things that
Yeah,
are
okay, to
happening now.
adapt.
It's
Yeah.
so good when I feel like it's so beautiful when you hold on to your name and you're in high places. Like when they call your name and I'm hearing Chimamanda.
Mm,
When they call your name, I'm hearing Aisha. When they
mm,
call your name, I'm hearing Uzaduba.
mm,
When they call your name, I'm hearing
mm.
Chiweteleji. It's so good, but you don't know the, like for them to hold on to their name, you
Yeah,
don't
what
know
it costs
what it costs
them.
them.
Yeah.
Like you don't know if Uzaduba might have lost so many roles because she
Also
did
our
not change her
name.
name. So it's like when they get to those places, we appreciate them, but like what about other situations where in a system that is really biased against us, should we be changing our names?
Means I don't everything is just individual at some point. Are you willing to,
Because changing your name is removing your culture. If you change your
yeah.
name, you're going to change your name for your children. You're going to change your name for your children's children. You're going to teach them the same thing about pandering to these beliefs, to
But is
this
it really
culture.
pandering if you're like adapting to it? If you're trying to adapt to a system that's already rigged against you?
I mean, you could say it's adapting, but is it
Is
really
adapting,
adapting?
yeah, it's adapting because for those few out of a million that what about the other person have not actually heard their story or that they be sticking to their names until now that they have no opportunity for what they call it coming to them. And then when they not change the name, that's when they not see opportunity. So I don't know, sure. Everything has to be an individual something.
It's true. Another question I wanted, not a question, but is it a question? Yeah, bleaching and colorism. I watched an ad from like our parents' time. I'm talking like 50, 60 years back.
Mm,
And it showed creams that could be used to bleach. Now I know we talk about bleaching in the community and we talk about bleaching now, but it still was that word. It has been there since. It has been there since my parents' times, it has been since your parents' time, and it doesn't seem to be fading anytime soon. It actually just seems to be a bit better now. I know people that come out and say things like, "Oh, I used to bleach before I stopped bleaching," and you tell people, you see people come and saying, "Go back to their former color. Their former color fits you better than this one." But that wasn't my color, and I feel like as bleaching evolved, we started looking for names or ways to make it palatable. We say things
yeah,
like,
white
"I'm not bleaching. I'm bringing out my color, my true color." I don't understand how you bring out your true color. But then watching that ad made me realize that this is something that's been deeply rooted in our brains. It's not from my time, it's not from your time, it's from 100 years ago when we
yeah.
were
It's
colonized
not
by
even
the
in our own
whites.
country self. It's in all those other it's in like India, it's like
Yeah.
Philippines, it's in
This was like
South
a Nigerian
Korea.
ad I
Yeah, I
saw.
was saying the one I saw
I'm
was
going
Black
This was
American
a
ad.
Nigerian ad I saw in our magazines
That's
40,
crazy.
20 years ago, telling them about how you use this pomade to make you lighter. So it also begs the same thing because touching on so many of them, they're talking about Fifi used to bleach
Mm,
because she felt like it would make her look much more presentable,
more
it to
attractive.
more attractive, and it would help the image she was trying to make.
Mm.
What do you have to say about bleaching? Is it reducing? How do we curtail it? How do we encourage people to embrace their skin tone?
I feel like you cannot really tell people how to embrace their skin tone. You
Okay.
can or you will or you will not. Obviously, you need like examples or people out there who that's why some people they like to see like examples that you can say, oh, I look this way, and when I turn on the TV, I see someone that looks like me. That's what
Yeah,
people
we
like
need better
representation.
representation.
Exactly. We need people that have that are there to constantly like cover up the gaps. It should not only be a particular kind of person that you'd see when you turn on the TV. Like I think I don't want to assume, but all those Nollywood time there was always like a particular way they would look. Obviously, we had darker skin, but
Yeah,
they felt fewer compared to the persons that you see of lighter skin, whether they were male or female. So it's all about one representation because you cannot tell people how they should love their skin, how they should
yeah,
love themselves. Another one, I don't know if it's worse. I feel like it used to be terrible that time because you would see them people selling those Caro Whites, Caro.
yeah,
I'm supposed to say their names. Say not matter. All those Caro
yeah,
something cream, and they were actually very very popular. You see people from secondary school bringing those kind of creams to use, and then I think because of maybe they were too young or they did not know that that would happen if they use those kind of creams. So it's really also on their parent, or the person, their guardian, the person bringing them up to, but show them the right way they should go. I don't know, Sha. Society one is social media, obviously. People you have and people that you give your child access to, or the persons that your child follows on social
yeah,
media, how they look, how they present themselves. Another one too is our TV, people that come up on it. Everything pertains to how things are shown to, or
yeah.
rather a reflection of what is going on in society. So whatever it is we feel is going on in society reflects by, or we tend to mimic them, or replicate whatever it is we see.
What would you do if someone was blackmailing you?
I don't know. Probably kill them.
I feel like
that should be the way everybody should move on.
I don't,
Because there's never ever a okay, I'm going to once the person collect once will not come back again. They will always come back.
Yeah, exactly. I will not necessarily kill them, but like if you're blackmailing for a secret, maybe just say the secret. But I feel like that's what they used to do.
What?
There was a time in Nigeria where people were posting their nudes online, and they'll say that they were being blackmailed with their nudes, so they decided to post it that time. This happened was really people would not be calling them brave and strong.
So they'll post the nudes themselves.
Yes, it's like it's just like what Gigi did. Like if you want to use
but nudes is a problem of telling people something.
But the blackmailer already had their nudes. So they'll be like, my phone was hacked. A blackmailer got my nudes and said that they were going to post it if I did not pay them.
Body on their phone?
I don't know. It's okay to excuse that naked body on your phone.
That's weird. You
I don't trust weird.
You trust the phones to this extent. I know I'm like going on a tangent, but I don't trust this phone. This one that once you say something, they will bring up a video related to.
But that was back then before it got worse now. So the blackmailer will be like, I have your naked pictures and you don't pay me some amount of money. I'm going to post them.
So they'll post it like
they'll not post it on their Instagram.
Why can't they post it and like cover up?
Like, you can never hold the truth against me or some shit. People will not be like, oh my god, I love your courage. I love your So that was what was happening until people started getting the memo. There's like, this thing is fake, or this thing is just like.
So people were posting it just because
they're posting it because they've not been getting enough tractions, like they're not getting enough views, they're not
getting
enough likes, like artists, celebrities.
So they will not post their naked body to get.
People will talk about you for that period of time.
But your naked body is out there.
And so it is. And people will move on. Because again, you can't give the blackmailer control over you.
That's what they always say.
I don't know, but that's what was happening, allegedly. Anyhow, I would not kill them, but I'll probably just like, it's easier said than done. But I think I'll just come out with the truth. Whatever wants to happen, let it happen. Now for me to be at someone's mercy. Because why if they blackmail with something other than money? You know, Black Mirror, there's an episode like that.
The first episode.
No, it's not the first episode. But there's one episode like that.
Yes, and Shut Up and Dance. That dude that was a PDF file.
Yes, other, even though they expose what he did on it.
And his own was worse because people were actually supporting. I was like, oh my god, don't do this to him. There's nothing wrong for them to reveal it at the end. I'm like,
yeah,
mind blown.
The blackmailer was in charge, and the blackmailer made him fight someone to the death.
Yeah.
He killed the person. The blackmailer made him rob a bank. He robbed the bank. And in the end, the blackmailer still posted that.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what the blackmailer should have done at first, because the guy was a criminal.
I think he just wanted to drag him around.
He just wanted to play with him.
Yes.
So like, even though you say, oh, I'm not going to be blackmailed, you are still at that person's mercy. It doesn't just make sense. Whatever you did, just come out and own. That way they will say anything you cannot stand in public and say you did. Don't do it in private too.
It's not even possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible to do everything you've done in private to do it in public.
No, like what I'm saying is that if you cannot come out and say I did this thing in public, if you know you cannot stand in front of I did so and so too. Like don't do it. Imagine beating a child, for example. Like you beat the child or you put pepper in the child's private part. You cannot come out in public and say I did this thing. So don't do it.
People can come out and do it.
Now that a lot of us are learning, you feel like people are going to drag you. So don't do it. I don't know, but that's like the whole gist of it. Don't do it at all. You know what they say about integrity? Integrity is having morals even when the person is not there. Like you shouldn't just have morals in public or when it feels like you're going to put in a good light. You have to still stick with those things you believe in, even when no one is watching. So doing the right thing when no one is watching. Then I was going to discuss this Smalley phenomenon because it kind of feels like this podcast is even just this episode is coming at a time where it's raining. There's this guy online. Yeah, I feel like our Instagram feeds are so different. There's this guy online. He made a video and he was eating food. And this girl, she's not less than 16. She brings food to him and she's like, and he makes her sit on his lap. And he's like, catch them young, go. This is why I say she catch them young. You see, as they gave me food now, they obey me. Catch them young. And they enjoy yourself. She was on his lap.
You come and sit online.
Yes. She was like, yes. And girl is
she his sister? Oh, I don't.
Let me just give you the whole story. The guy's on low cut, and it's so obvious the age difference, the size difference, everything, just icky. Then people start dragging him because he shouldn't be doing that. He comes on and say, "I'm a content creator. That is my neighbor's daughter. That I used to do content. I just do a reality content. I do the realities of life." People are like,
should be a limit.
We should carry both you and the neighbor to prison because why would you allow your child to go and be on someone else's lap in the name of content?
And we don't even know what happens
afterwards.
Yeah.
And a lot of things have been coming out like that on TikTok, on Instagram about different people who have been promoting.
I know there's one ahead of that yet. So one young girl that he would make videos of, like he would make videos with the girl, and then people are like, that's very like the videos he would make. would be very, very weird. I think it was like last year or something. And I used to see this video, I just used to scroll because it's terrible. So he would make those videos. People would now be like, this is weird. Why would you do this? And like, it wasn't like obvious, like in this guy's situation where you come and say like can't jump in, but it was like a very, the videos would put them in a very weird position that you have to look twice. Like, what are you actually doing? Why do you feel the need to post this kind of thing online? So I think after some time, after some people dragged him, I think he just stopped posting it. Or people had to like, they were trying to like find the person, the child's parent, to see what they can do about it. But I don't know, Sha, what happened to him.
So it's weird because a lot of content creators have been coming out to talk about how you should marry children when they are young, you should do this, you should do that, and it's so,
which is weird because child marriage is actually something that still goes on in Nigeria.
Yes, and it's actually against the law. You should actually be going to jail for that. Now, a few weeks back, there was this lady. She got married when she was 18. She's fair. The husband beats her like no tomorrow. People came to intervene. This guy was begging not to be taken away from the man.
Really?
That if you do now, his mother go say, "Na me bring trouble, come find us." Mother go say, "I'll be problem." The mother doesn't like me already. You are 18. They couldn't even show her face to the camera because that's how badly she had been beaten. And she still wanted to remain with him. And he was still proud of the fact that she still wanted to remain with him. So there's a small phenomenon going on in the society now. And you can see it is even evident in people who sleep with young girls for money.
And then even his own wife, he got married to her when she was very, very young.
And it would have been better if he was around the same age as her, but he was like 14 years old.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. If you were even like, if she was like 30, you were 44, it makes more sense. But she was 21, you were
30-something.
35.
Yeah.
You've seen everything that I used to see.
Yes.
She's just in school.
You know, said to catch.
And I hate that phrase, catch them young. It just feels like you're going out to hunt and they're fish just catching. But like,
and then another thing is also on the writer. I feel like, okay, obviously we know that sometimes people write about, or authors write about things that they don't necessarily believe in. They just write that this to show the society. But you deciding to end the book in such a way where
he's sticking out on top.
Yeah, it's very weird. It doesn't matter if you don't believe in it. Other people are going to read this book, and with the way media literacy is going around now, that people cannot really get things from it. They might just read it and be like, oh, maybe that's okay. You should be able to show that whatever it is that you're doing is actually very wrong, and you should not be able to get away with it. But obviously, we don't live in a perfect world.
It's not asking for too much. You're asking for writers to do justice to their characters.
Yes,
but by your own standards.
Because nowadays people cannot read things and understand things on their own, except to like spoon feed. Obviously, we should say, oh, go back to school. People should read more. People should have more contact with other kind of books. But with the way things are going now, once your village should not go away, especially in this country, Nigeria, where we see this kind of things happen, and in reality, this kind of men get away with it. It should be on you to be like, okay, you know what? Let me put it in fiction. Yeah, let me give you a way out. And then she just end up with, they now work on their marriage. She's not happy with him. And at the end, you actually do show that she's not actually happy in that relationship, because when she sees her old flame,
when she sees what could have been,
she's crying. So it's obvious that she's not happy. So why can't you give her a happy ending? Is that too much to ask? Or maybe I'm asking for too much. I don't know.
You're asking for too much.
Maybe I am.
What if that's what actually the writer believes?
That she should stay in her
I mean, the writer writes according to what she believes now.
No, not all the time.
True, you know, they used to supposed to have like test readers that will read this thing.
Yeah, to be like,
give you feedback. Yeah, so everybody was like, you know what?
Thumbs up. Amazing. No notes. There should be a lot of notes. But
but I get it. So my next question is, did the title "Bridges Are for Burning" make more sense after reading the novel?
No, a bit. Only one bridge was burned. So
I mean, if we did burn a bridge, Eddie, Gigi burnt.
It was not really even a bridge. That was like a walkway. It was not even a real bridge.
Gigi burnt her bridge.
That's the only bridge that we can say, okay, was really burnt. But every other one, Lotana, Fifi stayed with a horrible husband, and this girl Alana reconciled with a horrible husband. The only one like that is Gigi and Alana finish.
Fifi and Eddie was also a bridge that burnt.
Sure, we'll give it to them.
Okay, but I feel like the title does not make sense.
Yeah.
How would the story change if it were set in present day Nigeria? I don't think it would change at all. I think this is how things will actually work.
Yeah.
The only thing that might change is Gigi would not have ended up in Mudi. The guy would have said something about how she doesn't have a womb, and he cannot marry her.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have ended up with her.
Yeah, that one I agree.
All this one what he did.
With those
he wouldn't have said something like,
out there.
You don't even get womb, but they try even check her, they try to come back together, see they do shaka, see get well managed. That would have been what you
yes.
If you let it go
above and beyond
for her. Even when she said that she wasn't doing anymore, he still kept pursuing and still trying to say that, okay, I still love you regardless, let's work on this. That particular scenario would not have happened.
And then
But you see the
Alana own the same thing, because once you have that social media
that part
image,
where they did that you were separated for a bit, not that won't happen.
because also it was like a social media real social media couple. What they would have did, they would have kept on posting about how
Appearances and
how their
maintaining
perfect life
appearances.
is, their
Yeah.
child and everything. So you know what, big ups.
So, what character frustrated you the most?
I want to say it's Alan. It's Gigi now.
I mean, maybe it's Gigi because
We have more revolves around
more
that.
context
Yeah,
around that.
I want to even say Fifi. Things I want to say Fifi too, but I feel like I don't. She did not have. She didn't have friends.
I feel like
She
50,
didn't have friends.
50 is an evidence of what happens when your brain is not mature before you get married.
Yeah,
Because see, there's some people that are head of knack, like she who shall not be named. They go leave that marriage, leave the pikin for you, go train your pikin.
exactly.
They don't go on because you had a booming business.
Yes,
Even if you didn't have a booming business, I feel like there were so many things you could have done.
It was
You could have sold
possible.
up with your bags,
Yeah.
with your bags, and go to your life. Like there were so many bad things that were happening in that marriage. You had the risk of getting STD,
Yeah,
of getting
I tell you,
HIV.
even your children,
They were beating you. They were sexually assaulting you.
she had so
So
many things wrong.
what lifestyle were you actually living for your children to emulate? And the only reason you literally wanted to stay was because of money.
Yeah, now you
So
say
like-
some people would say, okay, they don't stay for their children, but then those children will be like, you know what, don't stay for us. Maybe you should pick yourself at this particular point. Love
I
yourself.
feel like she was the most annoying character because there was no redeeming arc for
Maybe
the
it's because they are sisters. Look at them, one and the same. I'm sorry.
Okay. What character would you least want to work with?
As in among all the characters,
Yeah.
obviously Ella.
Ella, yeah. I feel like that kind of person, you can never really know if she's your friend. Or
Yeah.
She's just looking for the next
Very
best
true
thing.
face.
She's a social climber looking for who she's going to step up to.
Yeah,
I know the funny part is, I'm not a celebrity,
right?
true, but that ladder is really worth climbing. Because once you get there, you have to keep up appearances. You cannot wear the same clothes 2 times. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Like, your life is constantly being scrutinized by people with less than you, and you have to live up to an expectation that nobody set for you, but you know that it's there.
Yeah.
Is it really worth it? Sometimes,
but some people want that kind of.
Yes,
people want that kind of life.
But like sometimes they don't. They want it because of what they see. They don't know the work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question. Which scene will be the most dramatic on screen? Like if it were to be acted out.
Is it not the restaurants ones they
Yeah.
That whole I can't believe it's you. He's sleeping. Yes.
I say,
So that was a lie. That has been in her head for a very long time.
And it also begs the question: like, if you stop being friends with somebody, would you resort to cheat?
No, that one's just bottom barrel behavior. Once you I feel like you should not even find, even if you want to explain the situation to somebody else, it should not be in a way where you drag their name through more. I know some people will be like, oh, well, this person did me like this. You're going to drag them based on who they are, not what the circumstances they've gone through. Maybe she's a terrible person. Like, oh, you're barren. Oh, your family is poor. People used to live with me. Just say the person is a terrible person. Just say you hate the person and move on. Instead of bringing up all the things they've told you about their lives and now dragging them. That's messed up. You should not do that kind of thing. Just that.
And I think with this, we're going to end this episode. So if you want to read the book, again, the title is
Bridges Are for Burning by Bina Idonije.
Okay, so please, if you are if you need if you're looking for to get relationship content, social media content, politics, discussion-based podcast, we're your best bet. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more videos and episodes. Okay, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.